Hi, this is Pavel with a Java exercise. We are going to be creating some classes and working with some object orientation. Basically, we have our task is to design and implement a class called sphere that contains instance data that represents the sphere's diameter. We will define the constructor of the sphere that will accept and initialize the diameter, and we will include getter and setter methods for the diameter. And we will include methods that calculate and return the volume and surface area. And we will of course test it by creating a driver called MultiSphere, where we will instantiate the objects and we will perform the calculations with those objects. The formulas for volume is 4 divided by 3 times pi times r cubed, r to the power of 3, and the surface is 4 times pi times r to the power of 2. Alright, so I created the classes. This is my drivers class with the main method in it. The class is called MultiSphere, and here's my sphere class. So and this one is I'm going to work on first. So we need the diameter. So we need a private integer, and I call it diameter. Very fitting. And I will get the diameter is being passed to the constructor by the user. So we will do the constructor public sphere, and we will pass an integer called diameter. There you go. And within that constructor, we will initialize the diameter to the one that is passed by supplied by the user. Now, obviously, this is a private variable. We are not going to access it directly. We are going to use the getters and setters to do that. So our public integer get the diameter, and this one will simply return the diameter. All right, and I'm writing it all in one line because it's so short. And yeah, I misspelled it. Yeah, I missed E, diameter. Okay, so that's our getter for the diameter. Our setter for the diameter will be, of course, void, and it's a set diameter. And it's going to accept the integer, the value that the user supplies. So let's call it diameter. I keep misspelling it. And the assignment will be our private I misspelled it again. Now, private diameter equals the diameter supplied. And I misspelled it one more time. I mean, I guess that's something wrong with my E on my keyboard. Anyway, so this is our public get and set for the diameter. Now we can do the methods for the for the area and for the volume. So our public double, I'll call it get volume, and these are methods. So it will simply perform the calculations and return the value of the result of it. So I need some variables. I need a v. I'll initialize it to 0, and I need the r, which is the diameter that we get from the constructor. Now, v is the volume, so our v equals and the formula was, I'm putting it 4.00 to make sure that we get the decimals as well. If I just entered 4, we would just get everything in integers. So for 4 divided by 3, and it was times the pi, so it's math.pi, and times math to the power, and we are, it's the diameter to the power of 3. And I misspelled it once again. And we will return the result, which is the V, the volume. If you look at the formula for volume, 4, put it over here, 4 divided by 3 times pi times r to the power of 3, so the diameter to the power of 3. And now we can do the surface. So I'll do public double, that's the area, so get area or surface, doesn't matter, the same thing. And once again, I need the double for the area. I'll initialize it to 0, and the area equals, what was the formula? 4 times pi times r to the power of 2. So it's 4 times math.pi times math to the power, and it's going to be the diameter, and it was to the power of 2. Let me check that again. So 4 times pi times r to the power of 2, that's correct. And we will of course return the area. There you go. Now I'm also going to do the string method that will simply return formatted output. So formatted string, and I need to format the output, so I'm going to import a library, and it's the Java import java.text.format number. That should be the library, except it's not format number but number format. There you go. So now we can use that in our toString method to format the number. So I need to obviously declare the object first, number format. I'll call it format fmt equals where's my mouse? It's the number format dot in, let me see which one was that. It's the get number instance, and the number we are going to get is none. We'll simply delete that. So in this case, this way, now we have the object of the number format, and now we can return that object. We can format the diameter, so it's like when we get like too many decimal places or something like that, this will kind of makes it neat and organized. It will make it look better, formatted basically. So that's what it is. Okay, so I have this sphere, I have the diameter that is in the constructor. I can get it and set it, and I have the volume and get area, and I have a toString. I don't know why I have this double R equals diameter. We don't need that. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking, but basically, you know, we get the diameter right here. We are passing our diameter. In fact, what we could do, instead of passing the instance, we can do the get diameter I think always the E. That way we don't have to deal with directly with the instance at all, even within the class. The same over here. We can do the value of the diameter from the get diameter getter. The matter. So over here in the constructor, we'll pass the diameter to our diameter, but we will be accessing it only using the getter and setter. Basically, we don't even need the setter so much because it's not going to be set. It's set directly over here. And I missed E again. Wow, my keyboard really sucks. Okay, so now we have the sphere, and over here too, instead of accessing the value, we'll access the getter of the diameter. Anytime you can, you know, that's what these getters and setters are for, basically. We don't need to, because in the getter, you return the diameter. So it comes over here. It's basically like a method. It goes to method of get diameter and returns the diameter. So you could, within the class, you have an access to this private variable, but it's better if you just use the getter to get the value, even within the class. Okay, so now let's go to our MultiSphere and let's create some objects. Now I'm going to import some classes, some libraries, because I will need the input, so I need to import the scanner. So java.util.scanner. That's the first one, and again I will do the formatting. Decimal, oops, text. I forgot import word. Import java.text.decimal format. There you go. So now over here we have the class, and we can, you know, we need the variable. So let's say the double, I'll call it R. Again, like for diameter, I will initialize it to 0. But I will also get the object of decimal format. And again, it will be new decimal format. So now I instantiated the object. Now I can use it. So let's do the scanner, just like decimal format, we need to instantiate the object. I'll call it scanner equals new scanner, and over here inside the scanner we are only interested in the input, so we'll enter system.input. So we have the scanner, and now we can do our system.out.println. Please enter a diameter of a sphere. All right, and our R will equal the whatever the user entered. So it's going to be scan.next double, because it's in a double. We could just do you know, integers, but doesn't really matter. And we don't need the scanner anymore, so I'll close it right here. And now we have the diameter. Now we can declare the object or create the object. So our sphere object, I will call it sphere with lowercase, equals new sphere, and I will pass the r to it. In other words, I'll pass the diameter to it. And it's not very happy. It's undefined. So where is our sphere? Oh, we are okay. I have it as an integer, but it's supposed to be a double. So I'll do this as double as well. So yeah, we could do integers, but we can over here. You know, they have to match. Our diameter is in the format of double because we are accepting and passing a double into it. Okay, so now we have the object, and now system.out.print line, and we can use the formatted output. So format, and we will format the number, not really the number, but the sphere. So it's going to be our sphere dot get volume. So that's our first one, and we will output system.out.print line. Again, it's formatted, format, and this time it's going to be the object sphere that we just created, but it's going to be get area. Okay, so let's try that, and I will move my console over here so you can see it. All right, so please enter diameter of a sphere, and I'll enter 10. And here is the formatted number, you know, with the column between, like I said, between thousands and a period with the decimals, and so it's nicely formatted instead of just a bunch of numbers stuck together. Okay, so let me check if this is correct. And here's sorry about that. So the value is 4188 for the, this is for the volume, and for the area is 1256. So you get 4188 1256. So that is in fact correct. Okay, so you could see that it wasn't you know, too bad. We have our sphere object with our diameter as a private. We assign a value without any checking. You know, if the user enters wrong bad value, we didn't perform any validation. But the we assign that whatever the user passes as an argument in the constructor, we'll assign it to the diameter. We also have the getter and setter for the diameter, which we will use to get the actual value from it. Rather than accessing the variable directly, we'll access the method, the get diameter. And we have simply two methods to calculate the volume and the area, simply using a formula that I found on the internet. And we have the toString method that we use if you wanted to, you know, to use it. We could, like, but we don't. We over here we use the we created the object, and we called the get volume method and get area method. Okay. But if I, for example, I come over here and I will output before that system.out dot print line, and I will output the sphere directly. In other words, I will use the toString method. Now when I run it and I do 10, it actually gets the diameter from the toString method. All right. Over here we are returning the formatted get diameter, which is 10. And then of course it performs the calculations calling the sphere get volume and sphere get area. Okay, so I hope it was at least more clear than it was before to you, and I hope it helped you.